Okay, we are in the gold packet, and this is page 5. Lesson 8 says representing proportional relationships with equations would sound better there than just equation. Just some review stuff before we get started here. Proportional relationships have a constant ratio. We know that from lessons 2, 3, 4. Also called the unit rate. That constant ratio, or that unit rate, is the constant of proportionality, which we've also called K. But this is new right here, this y over x. Not super new, because you guys have been working on the independent and dependent variables in science class. So just a quick review here that the independent variable is the x. In science class, that's the one that you guys talked about, the one that you control, that you change. And then the other one is the dependent one, and it depends on the other value. So the y is affected by whatever you do to x. So with your science experiment that you guys did with the pendulum, you changed the mass and the length of the pendulum, and that affected the output or the outcome, which was how far that box was pushed. In math class, we kind of just talk about the independent variable is the independent variable is the input, and that's the x. The dependent variable is your output. Dependent depends on the independent. So example 1 here talks about, do we have enough gas to make it to the gas station? Says your mother's accelerated onto the interstate being a long road trip, and you notice the low fuel light is on, indicating that there's a half gallon left in the gas tank, and the nearest gas station's 26 miles away. This is kind of old school here, but your mother keeps a log where she records the mileage and the number of gallons purchased each time she fills up the tank. Nowadays, cars kind of do that for you. They keep track of your gas mileage, so you can see how you're doing, because it's for fuel economy, and it's less money that grown-ups have to pay for gas. You'll care about this when you guys start driving. Use the information in the table to determine whether you'll make it to the gas station before the gas runs out. And you know that if you can determine the amount of gas your car consumes in a particular number of miles, you can determine whether or not you can make it to the next gas station. Well, there's some weirdness here with the font here. I'm sorry about that. I'm looking at these letters and it's kind of strange. So this table shows gallons in miles driven, and you can see the different amount of gallons here and how many miles she was able to go on that. So for part 8, it says find the constant of proportionality and explain what it represents in the situation. So constant of proportionality, that would be that unit rate. So you can go ahead and pause the video and figure out the unit rate, that constant multiplier, that common unit rate that you see going on. And then start the video back up again. Well, hopefully you were calculating the miles divided by the gallons, and each time you do that, 224 divided by 8 gives you 28, 280 divided by 10 is also 28, and 112 divided by 4 is 28. So the constant of proportionality, K, is equal to 28. And it also says to explain what it means, what it represents in this situation. That 28 is the number of miles that you can drive per gallon of gas. So 28 miles per 1 gallon of gas. So if you think of a milk jug full of gasoline, this car is able to go 28. That's pretty good gas mileage. I'm going to pause this video and move on to the next one.